friends, welcome to my channel. So in this video I'm going to teach you that how can you make your system look like this. So this is going to be a complete crash course on rising. So this was the first rise which I did, and it is really simple to do and you guys can do it. All you have to do is install Arch, install DWM, and doing few things. It's really simple. All right, I'm going to make this simple for you. So this is going to be a complete crash course for beginners who don't even know how to install Arch. All right, so I used this system for more than 2 years, and the idea was that I used all terminal rated applications and I used browser along with it, and it worked perfectly. I used to use browser really less. All right, so how we can do this? Let's get started. So the first thing is open Firefox and install Arch. All right, so go to archlinks.org and then click on downloads. Now here, if you understand magnet links, then I mean torrents, then just click here. Otherwise, I'll recommend you just go to any of these servers. So it's better to use worldwide, it always works. So here, just click on Arch Linux 2023, which ends with ISO. Okay, so this will start the downloading. Now I have this already downloaded, so I'm not going to bother with this. So after installing the Arch Linux ISO, you need to have this. So here I got I already downloaded, as I told you. So it's going to be 848 MB. It depends when you're watching it. When I started using Arch, it was around 500 MB, but as you can see these days, the Arch Linux ISO provides some more functionality. It doesn't matter. Okay, so after getting this ISO, now I recommend you to install all of this in bare metal. But if you want to try with VirtualBox, then you can do it. Now I'm going to use VirtualBox because I don't have any capture card or anything. So you can use something called Balena Etcher. Okay, so this is a really nice tool to boot a USB. There is a really nice command which I also use, which is dd command, but I'll recommend you for beginners, just install this tool, download Etcher. If you're using Linux, then there is an app image. If you're using Windows, you can figure out yourself. Select the image, plug the USB, make sure you have USB plugged in, select the drive, whatever the letter it is, and just click on flash and your PD will get like booted. After that, you have to open your BIOS somehow. You have to figure out how to open BIOS, and after opening BIOS, go to boot setting and make sure to prioritize UEFI, USB, whatever. Like if you see something like USB, make sure to have first priority. And just like this, when you restart, you will get your Arch Linux. So I'm going to use Boxes, which is a really cool virtual box. And what I can do is I can install from a file and just give this ISO. So I just hope you managed to do everything by yourself till this point. So I'm going to provide the memory. This is really simple, like, okay, rising tutorial. All right, so this is a complete crash course. I'm installing Arch for you guys. Okay, so this is such a basic thing to do, which you guys don't know. So you guys should just follow me. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide 2 GB memory. How do I type 2 GB? 2 GB. So 2 GB memory is like this, more than enough for whatever we are doing. So other than that, storage, let's call it 15 GB, and that's it. So we are done. Let's create our VirtualBox, and I choose UEFI because these days most systems are UEFI. And now this will get booted, or Arch Linux. Let me make it full screen. I don't know how to undo full screen. I guess Control Alt. I'm still not sure. So once you have Arch Linux ISO, we are going to use script, by the way, because you guys are noobs. Actually, script is really good. I prefer script over manual installing. It set up ZRAM and everything. It makes things fast. I personally have my own script which actually do everything, including the rise and all my configurations. So I never use this script, but today I'm going to use this script. Okay, this is going to be a fun video. All right, let's get started. I'm going to put some chapters in the bottom so you can see where Arch installation is ending, where DWM installation is beginning. So make sure to follow that. So as you can see, we are in Arch ISO. Now the first thing I'm going to do is pacman -s arch install, which is not working because we have to. Okay, let me clear screen. Okay, it's clear. Just first command is clear. Okay, so after this, pacman -sy to update some packages and install Arch install and Arch Linux keyring. Sometimes having keyring help. Okay, so this is the first command which you have to type after clear, which makes it second command. So after this you don't really have to run any command. You just have to type Arch install. We'll see. Okay, we'll see. Maybe I should speed this up. So I don't know the command to make it full screen, and we are going to use ChatGPT a lot. Maybe I personally use it. I don't know about you, but if you stuck in some error, don't know how to do something, you can use ChatGPT. I believe like everything I have learned in my life, I need to relearn it with ChatGPT, because this time I'm going to do it a lot better. I wasted my life, I guess, now, like after ChatGPT. Okay, so this is getting installed, and boom, boom. Okay, it is. Dude, it's so, oh God, like I get frustrated when I have to see something and talk for my video. God, this attention span bullshit. So I typed arch install, and now it's open. Okay, so this is a kind of like a menu where you have to, just select things. Now I don't really have to select language. English is fine for me. Keyboard layout, I use US. Mirror region, I'll recommend not to tinker with this. Local language, depends on you. Local encoding, so I'm going to do things my way, for me. Okay, so make sure to follow accordingly. So let's click on drive is the main thing. So I assume you only have one drive in your computer, but if you have multiple, so make sure to do not mess things up. Try not to dual boot. If you're dual booting, then you might face some issues if you don't understand grub. All right, so make sure to learn about OS proper, read archwiki and few other things. It is possible to dual boot. Never think that it is not possible for your system. It is always possible. But if you really want to dual boot, like what you can do is have an external hard drive and just plug it in and install Arch in that hard drive, and don't mess with your system if you really want to keep your Windows machine for some reason. So let me press the space and then enter, and we selected the drive. Let's select disk layout and wipe all drives. Okay, so not all drives, selected drives. Okay, so I'm going to use X4, and if you understand what you're doing, then you can use ButterFS or anything. Now bootloader, I'm going to stick with what we got right now. But if you are dual booting, make sure to have grub. SWAP, always turn it on. In my life, I feel that SWAP is something which you should have even if you have 8 GB memory. I used to think 8 GB is a lot and you don't need SWAP, but you actually need. So hostname, Balmora. So I call my, like PC Mundus, I call my laptop Ethereus, and I call my server Oblivion. So this is why I'm calling my VirtualBox Balmora. So if you know Elder Scrolls, then you will understand the references. If you don't know, then I'll recommend you to read the entire lore. So password pro, pro, and then user account. Let's add a user box, password pro, and should I make it a super? Yes, super user. I want to be a super user. All right, so confirm exit. Profile, this is really interesting. This is the best feature which this script provide. We don't really have to install Xorg or all the graphic drivers and everything. This script will do all of this for us. So just select Xorg and then all open source default. Now I'm not sure, so I'm going to use all open source default. Okay, so if you're sure what you're doing, if you use NVIDIA, then NVIDIA proprietary maybe. So all right, so this is done. After this, audio, Pywal, and additional packages. No, don't try to install additional packages while installing Arch, because if you misspell some package name, you might face some issues. So network configuration, NMCLI. Now I have used Conman in my laptop. I just use IWD, and because I just use Wi-Fi, but it's all like, for a beginner I'll only recommend network manager. Okay, just do normally. So time zone, I don't think I have to tell. If you're installing Arch and don't know time zones, then like what time zones are, then okay. So automatic time sync, NTP. So this is a protocol like network time protocol. It uses internet, I guess, to sync the time and make it accurate. So just turn it true if you don't want wrong times. It's always, it is the best. I like it. So just click on install, optional repository, ignore it. You don't really need it. If you are a stream user, then you might need multi-live. So click on install and just enter. And now I'm going to put a really nice Witcher music which you can enjoy, because that's all you have to do. Damn it, installing Arch Linux is so simple these days. Like guys, seriously, like this is just going to take 15 minutes. I just have to say it and it will do everything. Seriously, my entire life is wasted. So as you can see, just like this, our Arch Linux is installed. Just have to press no, and this is installed. I can reboot. So it was so simple. I mean, where's the pride in saying I use Arch, by the way? It was so damn simple. This is why my neighbor is moving to Void Linux now. I mean, what next? Anime waifus dancing, asking whether you want to install Pipewire or Pulse Mixer or Pulse Audio. I mean, what's the point of using Arch now? All right, whatever. So let me just reboot and let me make another recording. So our Arch Linux is installed, and now what I have to do is boot this thing up, and we have to do a few things like installing DWM window manager, installing a terminal, ST terminal, because we are going to use terminal a lot, and we are also going to install a dmenu, which is the menu. And I call these three things the entire desktop environment which we are going to use. All right, so these three tools are we should call it something. Okay, so write down some comment telling me. Okay, so let's first install sudo pacman -s git. So git is something which we have to install in order to clone the repository of dwm. And now how I used to do it, so git is installed, I make a directory -p local src, and if I go to local src here, I like to keep all my source code. So let me git clone my git from my github. So I'm going to use my dwm build, which is really minimal. It just have few patches, and this is not about patching dwm, it's about rising up, learning about Pywal, and just making your system look better. So I'm going to clone dmenu, and at the same time I'm going to clone this thing called st, which is the terminal, and all of this is present in my like github. So we got all three. Now when I'll try to install dwm, I'm going to get some errors which is library related, so I will fix those. So let me just run sudo pacman -s, okay, why make clean install, and put sudo, okay, sudo make clean install. So this command is what we have to run inside dwm directory, and this is going to give us this error. And then I can fix this error by just installing libxft, and again we are going to get one more error, which is again library, why I'm unable to speak, library, oh fuck. Okay, so okay, let me install libx in nrama. Okay, all right, let me install this and sudo make clean install, and my dwm is completed, it's installed. Now go back, go to st, and then sudo make clean install, and after this is also installed. Go back, ls, go to dmenu, and all of these have some patches. Okay, so just install from my github. All right, so all three is installed. Okay, so what next? So let me go back to home, and before starting dwm, we have to first set up a xinit config in our home. All right, so this is going to be a xinit rc config, which is going to be present here. So we can first copy this config, etc x11, and then xinit, and then xinit rc. So we can copy from this template to here, xinit rc. And now if I do ls-l, you can see, and we don't have any editor, I guess. So nano we can try, we don't have this. So let me install my text editor vim. You can use nano and learn how to use it. So if you I mean what to learn in nano. Okay, so let me just type vim xinit rc, and here let me clear some lines. You know what, let's not clear lines, so just delete from twm to whatever you're seeing in the bottom. Okay, so remove all this and just type dwm. All right, and exec dwm, that's even much better. Why I'm unable to delete these lines, I don't know. So if you want to clean this xinit rc, you can. Actually, you don't need so much in your xinit rc, but this is how it's written in Archwiki, and I used to do it. So let me save this file. Now before starting, so we are almost done, I want to install some fonts. So ttf jetbrains mono and ttf font awesome, font minus awesome, yeah. So let's install these fonts, and let's try running startx and hope it works. So yeah, it worked. And now my key bindings, you might be not familiar with my key bindings. So Windows enter to open terminal.
Easy.
And as you can see, the resolution is bad, so we need to make it full screen like 1080p. And we will do this. I'll write a render command. So let's assume I don't know how to get a 1920x 1080 display in Linux. So I use ChatGPT to know, and it's telling me to use xrender and then run this command. All right. So let me just do this. Let me try. First, there is no command as xrender. So let me install it. Sudo pacman -xrender and type the password. So as you can see, there is no package name. So let me just type S to search the package name, and this is xorg xrender. Okay, so press enter, install this, and now xrender, and just press enter, and you can see that we got all these resolutions. Is there any 1080? Okay, this one we need. All right, so we need screen name. So let me type xrender auto and see if it works. No, it doesn't. So find name of in the output want to configure like vj0 or htmi0, and okay, xrender, let's provide mode 20x. Is it going to work? Okay, we have to provide the output. All right, so the output is virtual one. So virtual one. So as you can see, it worked. So we got our 1080p display. And now what I can do is, let me clear it. There is this one more program which we need to install, which is Wallpaper. For our wallpaper management, because my system is not looking good without wallpaper. So I need to also install some browser. Let me install Qt browser. It doesn't matter which browser you're installing, so it's going to take some time. So my Qt browser is installed. Now I can press Windows space to open dmenu on top and type Qt browser, press enter. And here you can see I have my browser open, and I can press O. It doesn't matter. You can install like your own browser, like whatever you like, and go to wall heaven and just click on top list, see if there is any nice wallpaper. And so this wallpaper looks good, but it's really high resolution and my computer is lagging right now. So let's just use just download this one. Okay, so save image and just press enter. So in the download, this is saved. So now I can type X wallpaper, zoom, and then give this. So this is the first very basic rise with no colors, nothing. And we are going to improve this over time. We are going to install Pywal, and we are also going to make our terminal look a little bit better than this. So we got our basic DWM up and running. We can use it, but now we have to rise it. That's why y'all are here. All right. So first thing which I'm going to do is improve my terminal prompt and some colors on it. All right. So let me open my browser and go to this site, oh my z n.sh. All right, so this is a program which is just going to improve your terminal colors and everything. Now let me just copy this line, and in order to paste in the terminal, we can type alt and v. All right, and if I press enter, this is just going to ask me to install zsh first. So let me explain. So right now we are running bash. Now, in order to run ZSH, we have to install ZSH. So ZSH is another, shell which we can use. So after installing ZSH, we just have to run, like this command, which we copied from the site, and type yes with the password. Now, as you can see, the colors are a little bit different. And now what I do usually in order to make my prompt look better is, so we are using ZSH. If I do echo, you can see it's ZSH. So I can go to oh my ZSH, or wait, I can use Vim and first change some ZSH RC configuration. Here I can change the theme to LNP body, and we can press like Alt Shift K to increase the size of the font, and then save it. Okay, LNP body. This is my favorite. So if I type ZSH again or open any new terminal, alright, we have to restart in order to get ZSH every time we open a terminal. So here you can see bash, but if I type ZSH, it's ZSH. Alright, so let me close this. So this is also not exactly like how I like my prompt. Okay, so let me go to OMyZSH and then themes, and in LNP body, so there is this theme. So you can see there are a lot of themes, and I can just open the file of LNP body, and I can just change the prompt, which will look something like this. All right, and here I'm just going to change the color here from magenta to red. All right, magenta. So let me just close it, and now if I type zsh, so this is what our prompt will look now. Now this is not the colors which we are going to use. Obviously we are going to install this thing called Pywal. So we got our DWM up and running, we got all the basic stuff, and this is something which we can use. So we have terminals, and terminal is all we need, and we can also use something like dmenu to just open any program, like cute browser. So this is like a really minimal system. It's cute, but the problem is that it's not rised, and this is why you all are here for. But before rising it, so the first thing which I want to do is, my terminal is not transparent, so you cannot look my background wallpaper. So I need some transparency, and in order to get transparency, it's already there in my build, but you need to install this program called pycom, or wait, not pycom. Let me close it, open again, sudo pacman -s xcomp mgr. This is what I used to use. All right, so let me install this, and if you type xcomp mgr, so boom, we got our transparency. Now let me close it, and transparency gone. So let me just run it in background soyciety, and that's it. Like, yeah, now if I close it and open any terminal, so there is some sort of transparency. Now I need colors, I need better colors, and in order to get colors, what we are going to do is, this is the most coolest part of this entire course is, we are going to use this wallpaper, and we are going to generate color scheme by using wallpaper. Okay, so this is the beauty. This is how you can get like new color scheme every time you change wallpaper. And in order to do this, we need this program Python Pywal. All right, so let me install this. And what this program do is basically, if you feed any image, it's going to generate some color scheme for you. All right, but first let's just make this wallpaper my background. Okay, so I have this wallpaper and make this my background, and it's not looking really nice right now. I mean, wallpaper is fine, but anything else is not matching with the wallpaper aesthetic. So I can use this command wall, because I installed Pywal, and give -i, and then pass this cyberpunk.jpg and press enter. And if I open new terminal, so look at the color change. So this is my new color scheme, and I can install like neofetch, and okay, so it's already installed. I installed it. So look, every color is matched with the wallpaper, and you can't really. So in my system, I used to open new terminals and not work. So every time I start my system, it automatically get a wallpaper, and it just like I open a new terminal and it have same colors as my background. But what about this thing on top? Like, this is not matching. My DWM is still blue. So I can press like super F5, and it's changed, because in my patch I have this patch which require, like, this is needed. But we don't really have to do this every time. We are going to write a script to do all of this. But there is one more issue. Every time I'm typing some command, like any command, there is no colors. And since we are so much into colors, like, I need color. Okay, so let me open Qt browser. So as you can see, all my patches, like everything I installed by using this thing called my builds, so it all have Pywal support. Okay, so I can just do search one thing, zsh syntax highlighting, and let me just search it. So this is what we have to install, zsh syntax highlighting, in order to get colors every time we write some command. And if we type wrong command, it will inform us. So in order to install this, I need a AUR helper. So AUR is a secondary package manager for Arch, which is community driven packages. So what I can do is I can install git clone https aur.arch linux.org/picor. So I'm going to use picor. You can use something like Paru, or wait, let me install Paru. So there are multiple available. I used to use picor, but I am also used to use Paru. So let me just type Paru, press enter, go to Paru, and then make package -si sudo enter. Is sudo needed? No, not really. Let me control C, remove sudo. Don't install AUR packages with sudo. Okay, so just press enter. And this will install our package manager Paru, which we can use to install some programs which is dependent on this thing called AUR. And we are also going to, set up a nice status bar and, like, I guess this is it. Like we need to set up a script in order to do all these colors automatically. We need to auto run things like xcomp manager and things which is needed on the start for rising. In fact, I can do it right now. Like let me open another terminal and shoot. So make you can use Alt Shift K to make the font bigger and just type xinitrc. So this is where like we are going to have all the auto start stuff. So in the end, before dwm, so here on line 40, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type xcomp mgr and give enter. Don't forget to give end symbol, because it's going to run as a background, so we can open dwm afterwards. So before this, we are going to write a script and run it, which is going to something like set wallpaper or something, and we have to work with little bit more on configurations, which is not really the part of rising, but I'll cover all these things. All right, so it is getting installed. Let me play some music for you. So as you can see, our Paru is installed, and I can install something like CSH syntax highlighting. Let me just search the package, or search the package here. So SSZSH syntax, and just keep this. So this is the package which we need. All right. So highlighting, and remove the S here, enter, and this is just going to install. Wow, it was oh wow, we why shit. Okay, so now as you can see, we are getting some syntax highlighting. If I type ls space, it's going to get add colors, and these colors are going to match with my background wallpaper. So if you write some nice command which requires you some syntax, then this is much better than working with just white text. So now what I can do is if I go to this downloads, and here I got this wall.zip, which is the collection of my wallpaper, and I want every time I start my system, I need a new wallpaper with a new color scheme, and I don't want to work with a same looking system every day. So let me unzip this. So you need this program unzip, install it with your main package manager. And here I got this wall. So this wall, let me just put in my home for a second and just go back. So here I usually just create some directories like pics for pictures, DL for download, and then docs for docs, and music for music. So let me put this wallpaper in pics. All right, so in pics we got this wallpaper. So how we are going to do this? Now we need to write a script for this. So let me go to local, and I have to create a directory bin. So local bin, and just go to local bin, and here let me use vim to just open. So this script, let's name it new look, and save this. So here you can see this new look. So it's an empty file, and let me just make it executable. And now it's not an empty file. Let me open this for a second, new look, and type a shebang line and save it, and open again. All right, so this is our script, and let's just write some code. So how we are going to do this? So first, if I open new terminal just to show you, so we got our wallpapers in pics wall. Okay, so what I can do is I can use find command and just give this path and press enter. This is going to list out all the wallpaper. This is what find command do. and I can give type file, so it will only list files and nothing else. I can give name and just .jpg, so this is just going to list jpg and not png, but I want png too, so let's just iname .png. Okay, so this is also going to give us, okay, so I just did some research and it's -o for other names. So basically we are now going to get all the jpgs and all the pngs, and I can pipe this in shuff, and this is just going to shuffle everything. So every time we will get some shuffled wallpaper, and let's give a number -n1. So this is now only going to give us 1. If I type 2, it's going to give us 2, 3 for 3, but we just want 1. Now this command is something I can copy, and I can make a variable out of this. So let me make a variable out of this here. So my wall is equal to this. Okay, so this is just going to give us some random wallpaper, and we are going to store it here. Let me close this terminal. So after doing this, what we are going to do with this wallpaper is we are going to convert, okay, not convert it, we are just going to use wall -i to have colors scheme generated for us, or we can also clear the cache. Wall -c, it's not really needed, and we can use x wallpaper -zoom, and then just give this wallpaper. So this is just going to get set it as background, or we should first make this a background and then do wall rate stuff. So generate color scheme, add this as background wallpaper, make this a comment. All right, so this is it. Like, but if you remember my teachings, you have to add type like super F5. So in order to do this, we can use extrude tool and then key and then super plus F5, and this is just going to do this thing for us. Like it's going to press super plus F5. So we are using this command in order just to press some keys, and which is possible in Linux. All right, if you want, you can give some notify, but figure out yourself. This is about rising. You can do a lot of creative stuff. This is what rising and getting a system like this is all about, like doing things by yourself and going creative. All right, so now if I type new look, just run this script, it's going to just get a new wallpaper, and it's going to set this as a background. If I run this again, as you can see, I'm not sure if the top color is changing, so I guess it's not, because I'm getting extrude tool command not found. So let me just quickly install it, extrude tool, and yeah, so run it again, and now it's changing. Okay, so this is, we reached the level of perfection, guys. Okay, so how we are going to run this every time we start our system? This is my question. Wow, it's looking so pretty. So let me just open xinit.rc, and here with x-comp-gr we can just type like the local bin new look. Now if you just want to type new look and not local bin or the complete path, so it's better to type complete path. So you need to, you know, learn how can you make local bin, like add this path in your ZSH. Okay, so you can do this, and but this is out of the scope of this tutorial, but you need to learn these things because it's really important. Okay, like how to add path as a profile. Also, every time you start your system, you have to type x. So you also need to read the Arch wiki. It's written there, you can figure out. So if you need to run any program on startup, you have to add it in your xinit.rc, but make sure that it should not block your DWM execution. So it should always run in the background. You might want to add some other programs. Many people end up adding more than 5 in general. For example, in order to get a perfect display, I need to add that xrender command here. Otherwise, every time I open my system, I have to run it by myself in order to get 1080p. So that is it, and there are a lot of other things about ZSH configuration and how to manage your configuration properly, what programs to use. I use all the minimal tools, and you also need to learn how to manage those programs with Pywal, because sometimes programs color scheme are not Pywal based. So last thing is this bar, status bar. So for this bar, I already made a video, so I'm going to attach it after this video, and I guess this is it. Like, this is how you can get a pretty looking system just like mine. And in this video I'm going to show you that how you can get a status bar like this one here. All right, so many people ask me this question. So this is the program dwmblocks which I'm using, and it's a pretty small program. So if I clone the code of this program, git clone, and then just give the link, and all right, so press ls, and here you can see the directory which I just cloned, so dwmblocks, and again ls. So this is just one file, it's just one C file, so it's a really small program. And if I cat dwmblocks and pipe it into all right, so the 213 lines program, all right, so it's just a pretty simple thing. But the thing which I will recommend you is not to clone this. I mean, you can actually clone my build, all right, so it's pretty similar to this build, but it will save some trouble if like, all right, so this is actually my build, so it's on my github bugs right here. Okay, so let me clear the screen and go to dwmblocks again and press ls. So this is my build, all right, it's pretty similar. I mean, the only difference is this config.h file. So in this configuration file, which is just 13 lines, and if you delete the comments, then it's actually 11 lines, all right. So let's not delete this comment because it's important, all right. So you have to add these modules or these lines. So what are these lines? These lines are basically the commands. So like netref is a command, volume is a command, clock is a command, all right. So let me close this configuration, and in my computer, if you type netref, all right, netref, so you can see this is basically this thing here. So it's actually the script output, and this is just an emoji, all right. Volume and some other programs like I don't know what kind of, like clock, all right. So this is just basic scripts, and these are actually these scripts are written by Luke Smith. So if you go to Luke Smith void rice, okay, so this is the repository. If you go to .local and bin and then this status var, so this is the path, and I will give the path in the description. So you can download these scripts whatever you want. Like I want, like, if you're using a laptop, you might want to clone this, all right. So not clone, actually just download this, all right. So this is the script, copy the link, and I keep all my script in my local bin, all right. So I'm going to duplicate this, and it's downloaded. Now he have this SB in the front. Now I don't want this, so let's just rename this to just battery, all right. So if I do ls, you can see this battery. Now this is not executable right now, so let's just make it executable, all right. So all right, we are done. So now the battery is executable, and just run this battery, all right. And now if you see, like, there is no output because I'm on my PC, like computer, all right. So but in your case, if you're running with a your laptop, it must work, all right. Everything else is working, like clock. So these scripts are working, and I can run this from anywhere in my computer, not just from local bin. Why? Because in my Z profile, I think Z profile, all right, so I have this export, which is export of the path. Now remember one thing, this path export should be in your Z profile. You must have this path set in a way that you don't really need to run your shell in order to just execute this line. So make sure when you log in into system, this line must run, all right. So this might be confusing, just put this line in your Z profile, all right. So Z for profile is just a file. If you're using ZSH, if you're using, oh my god, this thing, okay, so I believe that you can do this, all right. So just make sure that your script must run from anywhere in your computer, otherwise my build won't work, okay. So go to my build, like dwmblocks, just type sudo make install, and this is how you will install this file, which is basically the dwmblocks program. And it will just run it, and yeah, I mean, then wait, we are not done, all right. So your program is installed, but in order to run the program, you have to put this in your xnetRC here, okay. So make sure to type something like this in your xnetRC, or if you just want to test, you can also run it from dwmblocks, like from the terminal, all right.
And if you have any new script, like any new cool script which you want to add, for example, like if you write something in your local bin, let me quickly write some hello script. All right, so just a quick script. All right, so echo hello viewers. All right, so this is the, let me make it executable. Hello, so hello viewers. So let me go to my local pane, not local pane actually. Let me go to my dwmblocks and open the config.h and add another line here before like the first line hello. All right, so I can run hello from anywhere, by the way, so you can see. And wait a second, let me install it. So it's installed. All right, so let me pick dwm blocks and let me install, run dwm blocks again. So right now it's dead, by the way. You can see nothing is changing. So you can see the all the things, but it's not present actually. So if I run this again, you can see the hello viewers is, it just, it's just some output of some script, which means that you can almost get anything in your status file. All right, so if you are scraping some price or something, you can just have it here. So this is pretty cool. And if you find this very overwhelming and you don't want to use it, you can just use this, my like Pi Stardust thing he used. So Pi Stardust actually one of my friend, I he wrote ANICLI, so he's doing a lot of stuff. So let me show you. So he have this svar, so I like this because it's written in shell. All right, so he used this thing, so you can also just run this thing, so it's also pretty sweet. So you can install this or just use my way, which is dwmblocks. All right, so it's up to you.
One more thing which I want to show you is that how to put this thing here, like on the Firefox. So I got this extension Pywal Fox, so you can get it, Pywal Fox, Firefox. All right, so it's not very hard, you can just find it easily, and this is the extension which you need. So just put it, and after that you're not done. So let's just click on fetch colors. So after that, what you have to do is you have to search Pywal Fox and go to the GitHub of Pywal Fox. So this is a program for Firefox, in order to, if you want like Pywal colors in Firefox. Okay, so let's just scroll down here and try to find the installation thing. So this is an uninstallation thing, we don't want to do that. So it's pretty simple, by the way, there is no issue I got while doing these kind of stuff. So you have to install pip, python pip. So it's already installed. All you have to do is just this. Okay, it's going to work pretty fine. I don't want to run it because I already have this, and after this you have to run this command, or should I just run this? Let's just run this. Okay, so I think it's done. Yeah, this is what you have to do. And after that, if you got this extension here, if you click on fetch Pywal color, it's just going to change the color according to your default wallpaper. Okay, and by default wallpaper, I mean if you go to this cache directory and wall, so by default wallpaper I mean whatever you got here, okay, in your Pywal cache directory. Okay, if you restart the browser, like if I change the wallpaper for a second, let's just change to something else. It's not very nice. Okay, and this is also not very nice. Okay, so let's just deal with this. Let's open Firefox again. So here, as you can see, it takes few times, but like few seconds, but as you can see, it's loaded. So I think, is it loaded? It's a pretty weird color. Let me change the wallpaper. Okay, so this wallpaper here. Let's open Firefox again, and so when you restart it, it's just going to fetch the color automatically. But if you have it running, then you need to click here on fetch Pywal. One more thing which you want to do, just click yes here. So by default these things are no, and you need to change it to yes, because this is how you are going to get your DuckDuckGo theme. In case if you are using DuckDuckGo theme, DuckDuckGo is going to detect the colors. And one more thing I want to say, that some people don't like Pywal. They believe that it's not very usable. Okay, so I think for me it's fine. Like I have a wallpaper collection which mostly suit Pywal. Okay, so you have to make a good wallpaper collection which is Pywal friendly basically. So that's it for this video, and let's see what okay, that's it. I don't know how to end videos. I suck at ending videos.
There is no real me. I guess that's it. wanted it to be, isn't it, Lane?